for some reason like live streams on YouTube doesn't actually perform that well after it is done. And I mean, to be fair, it doesn't perform that well like even during the live stream, but yeah. And okay, is it just me or is my camera frozen? I think it is frozen. Let me just, I recently changed my like camera setup. I got a new like capture card. No, it's not really a capture card, just connects to your camera and links it as a loopback device. But it gets the output from the HDMI, so it's much higher quality. But I think it's causing some sort of encoding issues in OBS. I got a warning or something like that when I switched to the PRAG back screen. I guess we can do without a face cam. And yeah. Okay then, yeah. So what do we have here? We have so many to-dos, which is good. I mean, I would just leave it like that without mentioning anything, or without typing down any kind of notes or anything, or any kind of warnings or anything like that previously. But now, like, I have started to add more to-dos, fix me notes and things like that, which is better in my opinion, because I might just get like take a long break, maybe a few days, and when I come back I may not remember everything that I'm supposed to work on next. Okay, this should technically be it to do. Yeah, because we don't have a system for generic types anyway, so why let's just have to fix me. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me properly, and let me just check OBS. Yeah, handle this case. So we are bumping it to an identifier, and it already has a value, which means this is a declaration. So I think I should also start a declaration. Maybe inside, or should technically don't matter in. Okay, it is allowed. Yeah. Declaration and type inference. Paste declaration. Oh, in type inferred type declaration. My info declaration to be short. Okay, this is weird. Oh, okay, it's just a condition. Yeah. So this looks ugly. This honestly looks difficult to pass. I think it's better if I add it off, like after the case starts. Yeah. Okay. And potentially handle from separately, because right now from is how. Let me just show you guys in the source code. So for example, wait, what is this? Yeah. So human. No, human. Imagine I want to get an integer, maybe i64, from a string value. So like right now you would do this i64 from this, and this is actually an expression, like it has a value. So here you can just say 4535. I don't know, yeah, something like that. And this is how you call the constructor right now. And this is also there to be consistent with the type conversions. So you can do i64 to str, if that is the string class type or string type. Maybe it would be string, but I haven't decided on that yet. So yeah, so the from is there to be consistent with the other conversion like syntax, which is to. And I think this is pretty good way of creating something. For example, let value equals i64 from this, or I think it could be another way. i64 value from, I think this one is better. I mean, both are technically supposed to be supported by the language because I have designed it that way. The parser should support it. Okay. And okay, this makes sense. Yeah. Sorry, like this is wrong technically. It's not i64 to string. It is whatever value you have. So value to string. So it is supposed to be a value, and you convert that value to that appropriate type. By the way, in Twitch, I don't think the software and game development category is that popular. I mean, like sometimes I see more than like 2,000 viewers or something at a time, but it's pretty late for me. I mean, like currently it is late right now, and this is usually the peak time or something like that, or at least that's what I see. Maybe there is another time, but there is a very high chance that I might be sleeping that time, sleeping during that time. So yeah. Value to string. So okay, the second one is much more. I mean, currently we are actually working on that part only. Like for example, this one. Yeah. So it could either be this. i64 value equal to something like that, or yeah. All right then. So if it is assignment, I think we can actually get to the. Okay, I think we should handle it separately. So we can remove this to do. A lot of things can go different depending on the syntax. So else if is next. I don't think I will be streaming for a lot of, I mean, for maybe an hour or something today. I might just end it quickly because it's very late and have a meeting tomorrow. So yeah. And I don't know if I'm talking really low, but it's pretty late here, very late. It's like 3 minutes to midnight or something. And yeah, I don't want to wake my parents here. Declaration. Yeah. Okay, if it is assignment, then we can just check for the first degree version of auto endless equals is first position. I mean, no. Get first primary position. And let me see. Okay, token type stop. And the current index is I. Okay. And okay, these options of end pass value if it does have a value. We are currently in the past sentences function, so it does have a range, so we have to check if it is outside the range. So, and let's get value less than 2. The range is exclusive, by the way, so we check, like we start at one position but we don't include that position, and we end at another position but we don't include that position either. So yeah, it's exclusive, the range. Oh yeah, and false. Yeah, this one. Okay, so if it has value, then we just pass an expression, right? So auto x because pass expression and from 2 and a symbol, potentially a symbol. We don't have any symbol, so we can just say error none, and I and sorry, get me value. Yeah, this should work, and it is also exclusive, so yeah, this should work. And you'll get an expression. You're supposed to get an expression, and I think that's basically it. The only thing left here is to actually do the local declaration. So we already have it. Let's do this. So if we is where, what is this? Is pro. Oh, okay. Where? Yeah, we already have it in global scope, and I think yeah, we are already changing it, so it doesn't matter. All right then, and we will have to set var equal to false. Local declaration. Yeah, and cache type declare. See, equals end press dot get value continue. Yeah, and it's sufficient from. This is a very this I'm not that sure about. So here's the thing. We have tuples in the language, so imagine I'm doing this, right? So here's the problem. So I have two values. So currently this is a tuple. Well, I mean, at least it looks like a tuple. But what if, imagine I'm 64 and from I64 I mean, this is total garbage, the logic here, but for demonstration. So is it really a tuple here? I mean, okay, sorry, I have to name it B. Okay, is it really a tuple here, or is it just the parameters? That's what I'm kind of confused about, I think. Yeah. Now imagine, I mean, I'm allowing this, right? And so this, so technically is fine, but here's the problem. If I want to call a function my function, and the first parameter is an I64, so and I have two other values, so I'm saying like the same thing. I just give a value from some value C, and now the problem is this the second parameter or is it part of the from syntax? That's the problem that I'm worrying about. And imagine you have to provide a parenthesis for like in all cases. In that case, even if it is a single parameter, I will have to like I want to accept this, so but if it is compulsory to add a parenthesis, then I will have to do this. But here's another problem from I64. What is the difference between these two? Okay, so here it is a singleton, I think, or a one-dimensional tuple. I mean, technically it's not a tuple. If it's one-dimensional, it's just a value. But yeah, anyway, so what's the difference between these two constructors? I mean, yeah, that's the problem I have with the syntax, from syntax. So yeah. Sorry, okay, I have someone in the chat and I forgot about it. Yeah, I didn't actually look at it. We have an example of the Qat language. I don't know if you're still watching, but yeah, anyway, I mean, like, there is no compilable version of it. I'm currently building it. Like, the parser is almost complete, not like well done, but still. And what does from do is that assignment. Yeah, from is a way for you to invoke constructor. At least that's how I intended to be, and it is supposed to be consistent with the conversion syntax. You're in the language you're supposed to do conversion seamlessly, so there is a to syntax, and there will also be a from syntax. This to syntax, the specialty is that you can only convert to one other type right at a time, or else it doesn't make sense. And for the from syntax, you can do that from multiple types. I mean, it's the same as a constructor, it's just syntactic issue, I guess, at this point. So yeah, but the design makes sense when you think about conversions. And so yeah, that's the functionality of from. So how does converting from a tuple to any? When you think about computing or programming, it doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying, for an example, I just provided a I64. It could easily be my type and my type. Yeah, it would be my type. And yeah, this could be something else, anything else. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, like converting from into tuples and I64 doesn't actually work, doesn't make any sense. I just picked I64 for the example, but yeah. Let me see. I think a better way of demonstrating this would be type. Like even with I64, I think a better way of saying this would be from str val. So we have a string, or maybe yes, this. I haven't finalized the class type for strings, but yeah. So this makes sense, right? You would want to be able to convert a string like this and 78 or something like that to an integer. Oh, sorry, in this case it is an i64, so you don't need bit width specified. Then you can pass the number of arguments in the constructor. I mean, I don't think, no, I don't think I can do that. Then you can pass the number of arguments in the constructor. I don't know if I understand that correctly, but I think I'll have to pass whatever is available after from, and the current syntax is ambiguous, like for from. I haven't finalized it, so I have to assume. Here's the thing. So if it is a string, just one argument, one parameter in the constructor, then you would do this i64 num equal num from this. So this is the syntax, right? And so I want to be able to do this. Now, if it's just one value, I want to be able to do this. But if it's multiple values, then you do this, and you might have to provide parentheses. But the problem with this syntax, okay, and the problem with the syntax is that, in the case of 2 parameters, you provide a parenthesis, right? And in the case of 1 parameter, you provide no parentheses. But here's the thing: i64 num from 435, and I mean, let's just not make this too confusing. It should just be my type, not i64. So it's some type, we don't know what it is, and we should be able to convert it. And so here's the thing, here's the actual confusion. What's the difference between this and this? In the first case, it's just a string, we are just passing a string. In the second case, according to the design of the language, it is a tuple with one member which is string, and these two are completely different. So either I will have to enforce that you always have to provide a parenthesis, which means this also becomes this, but then it looks just wrong. It doesn't. I might as well just do what C++ does, which is this. I mean, I might as well remove the from keyword anyway. So that's the, I mean, it's not a big deal, but syntax wise, currently I'm in the phase of designing the language, so syntax wise it's technically kind of is. So yeah. And I think your question is, I don't know what exactly what you meant by the question, but we don't know, in the parsing phase we still don't know how many parameters are there in the constructor, because Python had this problem they solved with single tuples, having to have a comma after the first argument. Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. Oh, okay, I actually knew that, but I didn't think of that. Okay, that's a great thing. Yeah. So let me see. Wait. But wait. Okay. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. So you're thinking about I mean, if I add a comma, does that solve the actual problem here? I mean, I actually thought about enforcing that, adding a comma at the end if it's one element only. But I think that is a major problem in expressions and not in my case. In my case, mostly the problem is that if you call a function, you do like this, right? So my function my function like this. But for example, I mean, I don't think that is a very great example for this. Here the ambiguity is not so much as detecting whether it is a. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of Hyper. I mean, I think Python's all right. I'm also not a fan of Python syntax, and but I mean, like, I love maths, and like in maths this looks really correct for like tuples. This makes a lot of sense, the syntax, but this is also the syntax for function calls, right? So that is the actual problem I'm having, because there is an ambiguity between whether this is a tuple or whether it is a parameter list. So yeah, I can technically change the tuple syntax to this, but then I also want a syntax for sets. So yeah, I did think about changing the tuple syntax to curly braces, but I don't know. Like I like this one, but I definitely most probably have to change it anyway. So even if I add a comma at the end, I mean, like even like it could also be like in this case tuple, in this case parameter list. This is the actual ambiguity I'm having. A person like some developer might just add a comma, and like in some languages it is actually like allowed. For example, Dart, like it's not just allowed. I'm sorry, like it's allowed in all languages, I think. In some languages it's kind of helping the formatter. In Dart, if you add a comma, how do I say it? Like it just adds each parameter to a new line, so it looks much more clean if you have a lot of arguments. So yeah. We'll see. I don't think I will be worrying about this a lot, but yeah. I honestly don't think I have thought about this a lot, so that's also something else I have. Yeah. Or I could do something crazy, and like we haven't used a semicolon. I mean, technically we have used semicolons for something, but maybe we can separate tuples with a semicolon. If that, I think that's too much, but maybe it isn't. Not the parameter list. Parameter list should be consistent. Maybe the tuple. But that looks really weird and awkward. I hate that parameter list has the same exact syntax as tuples in mathematics. Wait. So can't tuples have, like, for example, can't tuples be just unseparated, without a comma in the middle? It's not that crazy of an idea. Oh wait, it is that crazy of an idea, isn't it? It is. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah, can't. It has to be separated. PG had this. And this is tuple. The first one is a tuple, second one is a parameter list, and the parameter list one is consistent with the syntax for functions. What if you need to nest constructors? Wait, what do you mean? Nest constructors? I mean, like, are you talking about calling constructors from other constructors? I'm not sure what you meant by that. But in that case, I think like we shouldn't have any problem with that. I mean, we'll just type my type from string and run the constructor from key string a. I mean, tuple shouldn't have names technically. String var and my type.new. Oh, okay. Nesting constructor, that should not be a problem, because like in this language you don't call constructors like that, for one thing. And wait, let me just translate that. So my type, let me just translate that to language. Let me see how that goes. So this is what you're talking about. So my type, so my, let me just call it my var, from one my other from two. See, it works. So I don't think that's going to be a problem. My var from so, and since there is a comma, it is a parameter list and not a tuple. I think this really works, and maybe semicolon works better for tuples. Okay then. But what about my type.new? Okay, then it just be 3. See, since like if you don't want to mention, like if there are multiple values in the from constructor, you have to provide within braces, within parentheses. So like in your other case, the code would, let me just copy it for future, and in the other case that you provided, tab sorry, and I think this works. Yeah, okay. See, if you require parentheses, then I think that looks fine. Yeah. So like imagine there are 2, then you would do this. So and it looks fine in my opinion. Wait, you wouldn't do this. Oh yeah, you would. Yeah, that makes sense. I might have to I might have to change the tuple syntax anyway, because this doesn't look that great, comparing this to the syntax for tuple 2, 3, visually it's not that different. So it could be a lot confusing to go through large code bases and not be able to find this, not be able to understand this as a tuple, or if it's a function call, this this is totally fine. And Also having this for tuple is almost fine, I think. But since this is the syntax, with the it almost looks like a tuple. So having a very similar syntax for tuple could make it really confusing. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, I might have to change this to this. And in that case, I can just say it's just a comma. Technically, a tuple is not. Did you pull that from Haskell? And okay. You mean you mean this particular symbol? No. I actually don't know Haskell a lot. Like I know technically know, but not a lot. Like I like that symbol from C++. But what I hate about it is that like in C, I don't know if that is in C, but what I hate about that symbol is that it's used for mentioning static members in C++ and in Rust. So for example, std, vector, iterator or something like that. And the problem is you have to type it 2 times. So like I was thinking, why not this instead of that? And this is currently my language syntax is this for mentioning static members, or for example namespace members and static class members and things like that. And I do like the 2: symbol, so I put that for the for mentioning the return type, or not for mentioning, for separating the return type from the function. And like I initially thought about plain old C style syntax, but from my experience, it's hard to go through this in a large code base, if we have a lot of function compared to this. This is a very distinct symbol, so it's much easier to spot when you scroll through large code bases, and when you have a complex code base to keep track of. So yeah. Yeah, but yeah, like to answer your question, it's not from Haskell, it's from C++. But like I didn't know like Haskell had a wait. I think I did. Some other language also had it, from what I remember. Like he initially used to be in the PLD server in Discord, and they mentioned some other language when I showed the syntax. Yeah. Technically, a tuple is the same as a struct, especially when you consider how LLVM handles it. Because in LLVM, everything is just a struct type. Like every kind of class. For example, in C you have in C++ you have class and struct, but LLVM boils that down to just struct. So technically, this syntax is not the worst I can come up with for tuple. And also in LLVM, you don't actually access members with their names. You access them with the index of their position. So like in tuples, you would do num2 num3. Yeah. So num2 dot 0, right? And technically this is exactly how LLVM also handles member access. So I think the syntax makes sense for tuples. I do want to have maps though, key value storage for key value storage, and that might have a similar. I was thinking instead of I can't use colon for maps, so instead I would be using this, something like that. I don't know if that looks too bad. I actually didn't. In the last message, I actually didn't read the second half of your message. It's interesting that in Haskell the syntax is reversed. I actually don't reversed. So you mean okay, so it happens. Haskell good example. So it happens after the function name. Like my Haskell is very rusty. I don't think I remember a lot of it. Unix.hs. What? Oh, okay. I do see this in there, but okay, the usage is really weird. I mean, it looks weird. Nice. Is that? Main. Okay. Yeah. I know. I guess I get what you mean. Okay. Oh, it's weird that my syntax is really similar to theirs, to Haskell, but it has nothing to do with Haskell. I actually lifted it off from C++. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Technically I am using for now I am using in string interpolation. For string interpolation I'm like my name is like if it's just one identifier, one variable, you do this. That's what I'm planning, but this looks wrong to me, so there's very high chance that I will change that. Yeah. And if it's like for example name to C string or something like that, if it's not just one identifier, if it's an expression, then you would do this for string interpolation. But I don't feel like this is that great to look at. So yeah. Yeah, these will definitely change. Like for the like I have created a VS Code extension for highlight syntax highlighting when I do this, when I do sample code. So in that I have left it like this, semicolon and double curly braces. I like Ruby syntaxes for hashes, maps. Hi. Oh, I mean that's exactly the syntax for JavaScript, Dart, TypeScript. I don't know, like I don't think I can give you other examples that have the same, but yeah, like that makes a lot of sense, that syntax. The problem is I can't use that because of the way the namespace separator works. So for example, 1: means the next thing is a static member of the previous thing. So, and that's the problem. So if I have something like this, a map and hello, hi, and this is the real problem for me, right? Something and other, and the problem is this might not just be a number, this might be an identifier. And then what is the difference between this and this? That's the problem. So I was thinking maybe add this after, or even this. This is not that bad, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Why don't make your language white space sensitive? I mean, if I have if I do that, I think a lot of formatting will break. And currently I just ignore white space. So the next token is not actually white. I mean, I can actually parse white space. I can actually store white space as a token, but I really don't want to for some, that might also break formatting. Might, I'm not entirely sure, but we haven't gotten to that. It's not that complex yet, the language, to worry about formatting. But yeah, white space sensitive. If it is this, then you are allowed to do this, right? But if it's white space sensitive, there should always be. I mean, technically, for practical reasons, there should always be a white space, because it's easier to read, and when you do formatting, it will add it. So the user will always have to add a white space, otherwise the formatter there will be an error. There will always be an error. Maybe, but I also don't like that. Even if I make it white space sensitive, the same token is used for accessing static members, but also to mention the pair value in maps. So yeah, I don't know what to do about it. I mean, wait. Okay, this could be much simpler. Why can't I do this? I mean, this makes as much sense as the other one does, right? So both of these looks almost as right as in guess, I think. Here you are assigning the value to the key. Here you're saying the value is, the key's value is this. I mean, visually that's how you interpret it. Does Qat have automatic memory management or manual? I haven't thought about that a lot. I mean, it has pointers, so it's not like JavaScript or Dart or TypeScript or Java. I mean, not Java, but Go. Sorry, yeah, Go. It's not garbage collected, but so it doesn't have automatic memory management, I guess. But like I'm thinking of almost the same thing as Rust does, reference counting. So yeah, like semi-automatic memory management, I guess. It do have pointers though, so it has to have pointers. I want to use this language for low-level development, so yeah. And like the usage of the language might be used in situations where having a garbage checker or automatic memory management can actually be a like performance. I don't know how to put it into words, but like it can actually be a downside, having a garbage collector or automatic memory management. So yeah, some of the intended usages can actually be that, and it might just be invalid in some of the architectures. I can't give you a lot of information about that because it's like supposed to be a Easter egg or something like that, or, a surprise feature. But one of the architecture, or not architecture, one of the usage of the language is in a platform, but the concept of memory is kind of vague. So yeah, automatic memory management is a no. The language won't be having that now. So yeah. Okay, this doesn't look wrong, to be honest. I mean, we do know that it's within parentheses. Sorry, not parentheses, curly braces. So I mean, it is a contained parsing. It's contained parsing. You are checking within the limits of the curly braces, which means tokens can have different values, or different contexts, or different meaning. So this actually doesn't look wrong. Yeah. Let me just check the stream quality for a second. Yeah. Alright then. Oh, I have been streaming for an hour. I didn't actually notice. Yeah. So I might just go for a few minutes, and I actually have to get up early tomorrow. I have a meeting. So yeah. Aloha. Okay, this syntax actually looks reasonable. I can. This having the sing token is kind of, yeah. And then, like, if I enable white space, I will have to rewrite all the logic I have right now. All the parser logic. So almost all, maybe not all, maybe like 70% of the logic. And the painful part, I mean the tragic part of it, is that the logic would be to ignore the white space in most cases. Okay, I was looking forward to see your post. Yeah. Thanks Twitch TD for the conversation, and yeah, I might just stop after a few minutes, or maybe now. So I did. So the syntax for this is technically finalized, and yeah. All right then. I guess I am. I will be going most probably. Yeah, it's better to stop now. It's too late. Yeah. Oh, thanks for the follow. Yeah. You are my first follower. Just keep in mind. So, yeah. Thank you. And I think that's it. And see you later. And I might just take down the video on YouTube and re-upload it as a normal video, because for some reason, if you stop, like if the live stream is over, the performance on YouTube is very low. The normally uploaded videos that I had, which I uploaded because I couldn't go live stream on 2 platforms, but turns out that's the better way, I guess. Yeah, so I might just take down the video on YouTube and upload it again. So yeah, that's it, and thank you for watching.